Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be filming me riding Phil for the first time in 2 months. So he's been off on box rest and then recently the past like 2 weeks back in the field because he had sarcoids removed in between his legs. So because they were in between his legs, they've been a bit of a pain to heal. So what was meant to be a month off has turned into 2 months off. So this could be interesting, or he could actually be quite calm, but I thought I would film it all and let you see what he could or could not be like. That's what Phil thinks about going riding. So I just got outside and it's absolutely chucking it down, which isn't ideal, but it's typical British weather. So I am still going to ride him. Hopefully the video will still be okay and you'll still be able to see. I think he's quite excited. And yeah, I'll show you me tacking him up and everything. So I'm not going to put his martingale on him today because his sarcoids are in between his legs. So I don't want it to catch on them. So I'm going to put his bridle on. He's a bit of a pain to get the bit in his mouth. You. Good boy. Good boy. You haven't had this on for a while, have you? And then I'll just keep his noseband quite loose because he also had a sarcoid on his face, so I don't want it to catch. So I'm going to put his boots on. He wears the very just carbon boots because it's quite good for shock. And lastly, we need his saddle. Okay, so we've gone for a blue saddle pad today because I think that'll look quite nice on him with him being grey. And then I've got his half pad. Look at that. Got his half pad in brown. And then his saddle. So he's had this saddle for a while now, and once he gets all his muscle back from not being in work, we'll probably get him a new one that fits him better. And then all of our horses we wear stud girths on just because when they're jumping we don't like them to hit themselves. So they just have them on all the time so that they're used to the width of them and they're just more comfortable on them. Phil, you put on a little bit of weight. This used to go on quite high holes. Now, I'm struggling to get it on 1 and 1. But that's good because we like it when you gain weight, don't we? Because Phil struggles to keep his weight on. So we're constantly trying to get him to put weight on. So the past 2 months I've just been feeding him up. Come here, Phil. He really doesn't want to go out in the rain. So we don't actually have a mounting block, so I just get on from the fence, which when it's wet like this is very difficult. And also when I get on him, I just like to be really calm and relaxed because he can tense up, so I like to show him it's nice, it's not a scary thing, and I'm not going to tense up straight away. So he's actually been very good considering I've not ridden him in 2 months. Good boy. So he has got a little bit more tense now, but I'm just keeping my reins loose, still with a bit of a contact, so that if he spooks, I've got him. But again, I just want it to be an enjoyable experience and just stay nice and relaxed on him so he stays relaxed.
So I've decided to do a voiceover for the first time. because you weren't able to hear anything I was saying whilst I was riding because I haven't got a microphone. So I began by hacking him down the road to the menage because that's how I managed to ride, and then started with a bit of a walk. He was not as strong as I would have liked him to be here, but it's to be expected because of, oh, the camera is a bit shaky. I blame the cameraman, aka my mum. So then he was there fighting with me a bit and kind of wanting to do his own thing, but I just persisted with him and gave him the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't been ridden. There's my brother. He hasn't been ridden in so long. A quick transition to trot. Again, he was quite weak in the trot because he hadn't been ridden in so long, and it's just about building those muscles back up. So I walked him for about 5 minutes, and then the trot was again for about 5 to 10 minutes. I just did it quite easy with lots of breaks. There, he's resisting me a bit again, but I just persisted at him, and there, he's going a bit better now. So I then brought him into the canter. He only cantered for a couple of laps round because he had been lunged recently, but this was the first time of me riding him, so I didn't want to push it too much. He is going quite well though, considering he had been off for a while, but not as well as he had been. Like there, he was a bit resistant, but I think he's moving really nicely. On the other rein, again, he was just a bit distracted, and I'm just going to have to keep building it up each time I ride him, but he is still perfectly behaved. There was a couple of bucks which I didn't get on video, but he's moving so nicely. If they're resisted again, so I was generally really happy with him. Then I brought him back down to trot. I don't know whether, if you compare it to the first video of him trotting, you can see that he's moving a lot nicer than he was before. He's less distracted. He's still a little bit like there. He was a bit distracted, but he is working so much better for me, and it's kind of getting back into the swing of it. And it's like, yeah, okay, I kind of remember what I have to do. So I just trotted him off a bit on the contact, and then gave him a long rein, and then walked him back. Here he's moving so much nicer, and just imagine in a few months' time when we've had our dressage lessons and he's built all his muscle back up, because a lot of it has gone. But I'm so impressed with how well he's moving after 2 months. He's really trying for me. He's so cute. So, I mean, look at that. I'm a bit distracted. But I was over the moon with him for our first ride back in 2 months. He was amazing, and even then, I don't know if you saw, a train went past and he didn't even flinch. So very, very pleased. He also hacked back perfectly. This horse has not put a foot wrong today, so I am over the moon with him and so excited to get back going.
So it was a very successful ride. He was perfectly behaved. We just had the odd buck or two, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he's not been ridden for 2 months, so I'm happy with it. It was a quick session because he's a good boy. It was a quick session because obviously he's like weak now. He's lost a bit of his muscle, so I just wanted to bring him back into it easy and so that he enjoyed it. So I'm very happy with him, and yeah. I'm going to untack him, and then he can go out and play in the field for a bit, even though it's a bit gross, but it has cheered up a bit. So I'm going to take his saddle off first. With these stirrups, I struggled to put them up, and as well they scratch the saddle, so I just throw them over like that. Do the other one. And then usually if he had his martingale on, I'd undo that next, but because of his sarcoids, he doesn't. Undo his girth, I'll keep him breathing out of them. And then I undo both sides, because again it's a stud girth, so it doesn't properly fold round, and I just put it over the top. And as you can see as well, it's got quite dirty. So I'm just going to put these off here. Take his boots off. These need a clean because they've got sand all over them. And it's pink sand as well, which is the worst because it just it's so sticky. Look at my hands. And then take his shoe off. Very good boy. Good. Very nice scratch. So thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously it wasn't the best in terms of like Phil's ability and my ability. I mean, I've not really ridden for 2 months because I've been out of action because he's been out of action, so I've kind of lost the muscle in my legs, and then obviously Phil's lost a bit of muscle, so he's a bit weaker, but it's just something we're going to have to build up. Hi Phil! He's enjoying munching on his food again. I've also kept my hat on because it leaves me with quite bad hat hair, and I get a line across my forehead, so yeah. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, what else you'd... Oh gosh. Phil, are you okay? Gosh. So let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see. And oh my gosh, there's loads of birds flying around. I don't know whether you can see. Oh, it's gone. There. I really enjoyed riding Phil again because I thought he was going to be worse than he was. He was actually perfectly behaved. So I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah, let me know what you want to see more of, and I will keep you updated with Phil's progress. The more he builds muscle, we're going to go and do some dressage lessons. We're going to go and do some dressage lessons and some jumping lessons. So I will make sure I video those.